I made over $20,000 a month playing video games, and I'm not even a professional gamer. I'm not the only one either. In fact, millions of people all over the world were able to make money while playing video games. This video is not just about gaming, so don't click off if you're not interested in gaming. It's about a new technology that's enabled people from all walks of life the ability to earn money doing something they enjoy or owning some asset that they have. There's a massive change happening, and most people have no idea how it's going to impact their financial future. I want to show you what's coming so you can take full advantage of the opportunities. But first, let me explain how I made $20,000 a month playing video games. Let me take you back to the fall of 2021. This was back in the time when the metaverse was all the rage. This was why Facebook changed its name to Meta. They saw a future where the metaverse, people would be interacting with each other, whether it was an augmented reality or virtual reality. But at the same time, the cryptocurrency market was also taking off. So a lot of these things were coming together and forming this massive bull run, this peak of interest, especially in games. So at the time, there wasn't really any really fun, exciting games for blockchain. One of them was called Axie Infinity. This game was not fun, but what it did make up for not being fun was the ability to earn money. And people, they earned a lot of money. Those are people from all over the world. Southeast Asia, for people that were to make a few dollars or $10 a day, US dollars a day, was a big deal. And for people in the US or other countries that had a lot more income, they were able to invest into these game assets and in turn rent them out or basically allow these people to play with their assets, and they both were able to earn money. It was almost a dream come true, especially for a capitalist and somebody who is interested in putting money to work and giving people the opportunity to do something and earn more money from it. So when the games were coming out, they weren't exciting. There was one game from Gala Games that I was playing, and really I was just playing it because I was earning from it. This game was called Townstar. Townstar was a farming game. Basically, you would have a little plot of land, and you would go and you would plant crops. You would collect your crops, sell them, make money, and the whole point of the game was to earn money, and you have to accomplish certain tasks. Well, the different assets in the game, like the tractors and the silos and all of the different aspects of the game, these were NFTs. These NFTs, which I'll explain all of this later in the video, but just understand that these NFTs are just like pieces in the game that you own, and depending on the rarity or the value of that item, that allows you to earn more within the game. So lo and behold, come November time period, the market's taking off. So the cryptocurrency that you're paid within the game is increasing dramatically. But also those pieces there were people making over $20,000 a day playing games. Now, I had a lot of great items within the game. I was lucky enough to parlay some of my returns from investing into the games, which allowed me to buy some of these assets, which in turn turned out to be about $20,000 or more each month. Now, this didn't last forever, and that's what I'll get into in just a bit. But during this time period, things were going crazy. Games like Mirandus was a MMO RPG. It's a role-playing game that was being developed. And this was going to be years before it was fully released. It still hasn't been released, and it's fall of 2024. So Mirandus is one of these games that a lot of people were looking at. And in fact, some of the land pieces, basically you can own land in the game, some of those were going for millions of dollars. And in fact, during the peak, now this is getting into the craziness, during the peak of the market, which was December of 2021, there were some game items. Specifically, there was a dragon for the game of Mirandus that was sold for close to $5 million. I kid you not. These are things that you would never even thought were possible, but somebody was able to basically get this from a random drawing, opening up a box, and this item was valued at $5 million by somebody else during that time period. So That's how people were making money. And this is, again, the people that didn't have money to invest, they were still able to make money because the people who did have the assets enabled them to rent from them or use those in the game. Those people that had the money maybe didn't have the time or didn't want to play the game, but allowed the people who did have the time and wanted to play the game the ability to earn. So both parties were able to earn. It sounds too good to be true, and it was for the time being. So things are changing. Back then in 2021, there's a lot of things going in the right direction, but a lot of companies like Gala Games, like Axie, these game companies didn't know how the economies were supposed to work and just were really just riding the wave. But things are changing. Things are looking a lot different now. And now we've got games like Off the Grid, which is just launching. This is the from the thumbnail. These are two skins for Donald Trump and Kamala Harris that the game launched, obviously right before the election. This video is going to be coming out the day before the election. So when we look at the gaming industry 3 years later in blockchain games, it's completely changed. And so I want to dive into that today. In this video, I'm going to explain how this new technology is changing not just the video game industry, but all other industries and how you can make money from it as well. I'm going to cover what went wrong with the blockchain gaming industry back in 2021, how they are planning to get it right this time. I'm also going to talk about what is blockchain, what are nodes, what are mining rewards, proof of work, proof of stake, in very limited terms, but so that you can understand what's all behind this industry and how this is going to impact not just games, but even things like owning your own home or if you're investing in Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. I'm also going to talk a little bit about what NFTs are and how they work, so I can let you know how that actually I made $20,000 a month playing video games, how cryptocurrency enables anyone to make money, and examples of how blockchain will impact earning opportunities, tokenizing your home, maybe using crypto as a collateral, and so much more. So let's dive in. So what went wrong with blockchain gaming back in 2021? As I mentioned, a lot of things were going in favor of Web3 gaming. It was Facebook changing its name to Meta because of the metaverse play. Axie Infinity and games like Townstar from Gala Games were paying out people millions of dollars. And in fact, I believe in 2021, Gala Games paid out over $1 billion worldwide in cryptocurrency for those that were playing their games. It's an insane amount of money, and this money is, again, going not just to United States or Americans or wealthy countries. These are people that earning a few US dollars a day made a tremendous difference in their lives. So what went wrong? Well, the economy of the games is the one thing. Like, we just didn't know, right? The people that were building the games, they had to have economists look at the ability for the game to be able to maintain itself. Also, what's going to draw the majority of players to come in, even if they can't afford some of these larger, valued items. And so the economics of the game really, there's a lot of things that need to be learned. And I think those have been learned over the last 3 years. So how will blockchain gaming get it right this time? Well, I think what they're doing, what you're seeing with the launch of the games like Off the Grid, they're really starting with expanding and opening it up to the majority of gamers, making it a really fun game to play and not knowing that it's actually on the blockchain, that there's actually a ability to earn. Eventually they will release NFTs in the game and the ability for them to earn within the game, and there will be some economics behind it. But for now, it's basically just come play this really fun game. And I think that's really something that they learned from all these companies that tried it back in 2021. So I've been talking a lot about blockchain and blockchain gaming, but maybe you don't know what blockchain is. That's okay. Let me take just a minute to explain. So in layman's terms, or the easiest way to understand this, I think, is think about your home or your car. You've got proof that you own that vehicle in the form of a title, or you have a deed to your home. Now, these are generally stored at the county or the local government, and it's a piece of paper that proves that you own that item. Now, what if that gets lost, or what if that gets destroyed? How do you know that it belongs to you still? Now, there might be other backups, but think about blockchain as basically a proof of ownership. whether that's owning the cryptocurrency, the money, NFTs, which are those in-game assets. And it's spread across hundreds, if not thousands of computers, and they all talk to each other and validate that, yes, you do have one home or you do have that one car. And that's what blockchain allows us to do, is to have a mechanism where we don't have to trust a third party like a bank or the government to prove that we own either a certain amount of money or an asset. It allows all of these computers to basically talk to each other and validate and say, yes, Tom owns one home, Tom owns this car, or Tom owns this NFT or 10,000 Bitcoin. I wish I owned 10,000 Bitcoin. But that's how blockchain works in its simplest form. Now, blockchain in gaming allows you to own assets in the game. So for a video games perspective, there could be a gun or different items in a game. Or my girls, they play Minecraft, and in Minecraft you have these different skins and these different packs and these different games like Roblox, where you buy these items, but there's nothing that you can do with them. You can't resell those items later on. That's another big aspect to this. You own those items and you can turn around and sell them when you're no longer using them, or if you want to turn around and sell them to somebody else because the value of that item's gone up. So there's a lot to blockchain that allows us to utilize this technology, not just in gaming, but in everything in the world. And trust me, this is why I'm so excited about it. There's going to be a time, and I'll talk about this a little bit later on, but there's going to be a time where your home, the amount of cryptocurrency you own and all of these different items will be on the blockchain. We're already seeing it. We're seeing things like Starbucks, the gift card, the points, that's on the blockchain. Whether you know it or not, the Starbucks points are on the blockchain. This is a way to validate how much you have, and they're testing these things. And as we start growing, and as we start seeing things like video games, which is the perfect proving ground for all of this, as we start seeing that, we're going to see a lot of industries, whether it's healthcare, the government, be able to take all of these archaic ways of proving ownership and putting them onto the blockchain. So what are NFTs and how do they work in a video game, but also in other ways in life that you can make money from? Well, an NFT is a non-fungible token. Basically, what non-fungible is you can't duplicate it. There's only one of those items. Now, there could be a lot of different variables to an item that make it unique, but an NFT is stored on a blockchain, like Ethereum. Ethereum is one of the most popular networks that a lot of these initial NFTs were built on. And so whether you own a game, an asset in a game, maybe it's specific armor in a game, or if it's a gun, or you own health packs or skins. These are the different things within a video game that an NFT can represent. And the nice thing about it is, especially if you're a parent and you're listening to this still at this point, and your kids play Roblox or Minecraft, all of that money that you spend to get things for them in the game, because they're like, hey, I want to buy this skin pack, or I want to get access to this thing, and you do that. I pay my girls, allow them to buy those things every now and again. But that money just goes poof. Well, now with NFTs, you have the ability to own that asset and turn around and either trade it or sell it on the market. And that's what blockchain allows us to do, is to take a digital form and be able to prove ownership of that and allow us to resell that thing on the open market. It's going to change the world. Now let's talk about how cryptocurrency can enable anyone to make money really in anything. We talked about blockchain. Blockchain is basically how do we prove ownership of these different assets. So the blockchain will say, yes, Tom owns 10,000 Bitcoin, and we all agree. If we don't agree, we need to figure out why and basically prove ownership. And that's all done on the ledger on the blockchain. Then we've got NFTs. NFTs are the ability to prove ownership of a specific asset, whether it's a piece of artwork, maybe it's ownership in a real estate project, or a video game asset, something as simple as a Donald Trump skin in Off the Grid. So those are NFTs. And then we have cryptocurrency. This is the currency that enables you to exchange value through the different ecosystems. Now, whether it's Bitcoin or Ethereum or Gala or any of these other cryptocurrencies, once you earn from either it's a video game, maybe you earn from a real estate project that proves your ownership in a specific real estate, but then they pay you on a regular basis via cryptocurrency. Then let's say you want to take that money and turn it into US dollars. Well, you take it to an exchange like Coinbase and you sell it, and then you basically get that value in US dollars depending on whatever the market is at that time. So hopefully that's kind of bringing things together. There's a lot of things that are changing, that not just video games, as I mentioned, but real estate, health, government. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to use blockchain, cryptocurrency, and NFTs in this symbiotic relationship that allows anyone just like yourself to take advantage of in the future. In the next 10 years, I think we'll see over 75% of people earning income through alternative sources outside their 9 to 5. This includes from cryptocurrency, from video games, from real estate, from utilizing blockchain and this new technology. We've already seen over 45% of Americans earn income from a side hustle, and there could be a day when everyone will be their own boss. I'd watch this video next to see how I think you and 8 billion others will be entrepreneurs and be their own boss.